The man who drives this number 17 Chevy Lumina is known to and loved by millions of stock car fans. He's three-time Winston Cup champion, 44-year-old Darrell Waltrip. The past 2 years voted NASCAR's most popular driver. But popularity contests won't earn you a position on the grid. This is what he'll see from his 18th starting position. He and everyone else will be chasing from the pole a man they have never chased before. He drives this bright yellow number 30 Pennzoil Pontiac out of the Bahari Racing Stables. Friday afternoon, 97 degrees. He covered this 1 mile oval in 15 seconds, over 143 miles per hour. On his 160th try, 28-year-old Michael Waltrip, Darrell's little brother, won his first ever Winston Cup pole. A milestone in your career you'll never forget.
Well, it's a big part of what we do. You know, we try to win races and we try to win poles. And winning a pole is difficult. You've got to be the fastest for one lap. You know, you almost need to be perfect to do it. And it took me 160 times to be perfect, but I finally did it. So we're looking forward to the race.
What is the setup today as compared to qualifying?
We haven't changed a thing. I've got the same springs and shocks and gear and everything as we qualified with. We put a different engine in, but there's really no difference in the two. This one's just as strong as the other. So if we can get the handle on the Pennzoil Pontiac, we pushed a little bit yesterday in practice. It's a little hotter today. If we can get this car handling the way we want it to, we'll be in good shape.
Go get him, young man.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Hi, Kyle. Happy birthday. Have a good day watching me win this race.
He's talking about Kyle Petty, who turns 31 today, and I have a feeling this young man may someday be NASCAR's most popular driver. Not only does Michael have to contend with 34 of the best racing drivers in the world, but also the fearsome Monster Mile. TNN Motorsports proudly presents live flag-to-flag coverage of the Budweiser 500. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Evans. Michael Waltrip knows he will have instant competition when the green flag drops, because outside of row number 1, the 1989 Winston Cup champion, number 2, the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac, Rusty Wallace. We all know how Rusty attacks a track, but he's never won here at Dover, much like the man that Glenn Jarrett is with right now.
Well, the fellow that I'm sitting here with, or standing next to, is Rick Mast, driver of the Skoal Classic Oldsmobile. Rick has never won a Winston Cup race before, but he's certainly no stranger to victory lane here at Dover. He got his first Super Speedway pole here, and his first Busch Grand National win came here at Dover. You got to feel good about your chances today, Rick.
Well, Glenn, I'm starting third. The last time I started third at Dover, I won the race. My first win I got here. My first pole I got here. I love this racetrack. It's my best qualifying effort ever. You know, we'll just have to see how it goes. You know, we've been doing well in practice, well in qualifying at a few of the racetracks. We've been off a little bit the last half of the race, but, you know, we're gaining on it. Each week we're getting more consistent. I think before long you're going to see the Skoal Classic O's in the winner's circle.
Certainly wouldn't surprise me to see that happen today. And my compadre, Brock Yates, is standing by with another fellow looking for his first win.
Thanks,
Brock?
Glenn. With me is Alan Kulwicki, Glenn, and he will start on the outside of the second row. Alan, of course, a really unique man in Winston Cup competition. He's an owner, driver, wrenches his own automobile, and not only that, runs very quickly at Dover. He set the qualifying record for the Budweiser 500, in fact, still holds it. But this race does not necessarily go to the quickest man, Alan.
No, it's about a 4.5-hour race. It's tough on the cars and the drivers because the turns are so banked. There's a lot of force on you. It's tough on engines, and you have to be there at the end. This is probably going to be one race where there will be some attrition, and you've got to stay out of trouble. First and second turns a little treacherous up high, so a lot of things can happen. Our cars, the Hooters Ford Thunderbird's running real good, and we're optimistic. We're looking for a good day, but, you know, it's the last 100 miles that are going to count.
Okay, all the best. The dash for 100 miles for Alan Kulwicki and all the rest of the guys. Steve Evans.
Okay, you have met our pit personnel. NASCAR is just about ready to rumble this field, so let's go upstairs and meet the boys in the booth, led by play-by-play expert Mike Joy.
Thank you, Steve, and hello, everybody. At stake in Delaware today, $600,000 in prize money, 180 Winston Cup points to the winner, and all the prestige of victory. But that's not what's on these drivers' minds. To do well at Dover requires driving to survive. For 500 miles here is tougher than 600 at Charlotte, or Darlington, Bristol, Talladega, or anywhere else on this circuit. And the two fellows that'll join me topside to call this race know well the frustrations and the joys of success at this racetrack. First, Phil Parsons, you were telling me, much to Buddy's laughter, that you like driving this racetrack.
Well, I do like this racetrack because it's tough. You got high bank corners, bank straightaways, you charge the corners. But it's a challenge for a driver. Any racetrack that's a challenge, to me, a driver enjoys.
Buddy Baker, who's best known for putting his foot down at Daytona and Talladega and keeping it right on the floor. This was not one of your better racetracks.
No, you could say that. No, I ran quite well here several times. I had, I guess, 3 third-place finishes. I led the race right down to the very end 2 or 3 times. I had an engine lockup with 4 laps to go, leading the race, and had a real good shot of winning. But, you know, the racetrack never was really good to me. I had bad luck here a lot of times. I created a lot of bad luck, and I think I've hit the wall here about as hard as I have any racetrack I've ever run at. So, no, it wasn't my favorite.
But it is certainly demanding. Is it more physical or mentally punishing here?
I think it's more physically punishing. There's a lot of mental tough racetracks, but this is a physically tough one because, as I said earlier, because of the bank turns, the bank straightaways, you never get time to relax.
Were you wore out physically or mentally at the end of the day here?
I can't remember. I think I had a little bit of both.
Okay. It'll be quite a day of racing here at Dover Downs. Stay with us. TNN's live exclusive coverage of the Budweiser 500 is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. By New Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. By Goodyear, the choice of more racing champions than any other make of tires. By Ford and your Ford dealers. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Kodak Gold Film. Show your true colors. They are mounted up and race ready here at the Monster Mile. Stay with us.